Sir, we are not getting any voice, sir.
Now is it audible?
Yes, sir.
now.
So today's topic is like first normalization form. So when I'm talking about the first normalization form, it means that every domain. So here the domain we have been talking about in the DBMS terminology, domain and columns. So what do you mean by domain and columns? It is nothing but rows and columns. Okay. So here the domains is nothing but columns. So each attribute should contain atomic value. That means in our single statement, we can say that every column that has been defined in a tabular format, it should have some values. Okay. So how it will be? Say suppose I have an example. There is something called entity. Library is an entity. it has a two attributes, something called pattern ID and borrowed books. So here C45 is the person who has taken 3 books. That means he borrowed 3 books from the library. Then C12, he borrowed 1 book. So whether he borrowed 3 books or 5 books, as its definition in the normalization says that each should have only single value. Okay, so it should not have multiples. So if I have like this, that means I have a data, I have collected that today I have brought 4 pens, yesterday I brought 2 pens. Okay, or Lalita has brought in her box some delicious food. Okay, and with some extra curries and all the things. So whatever that you are going to put it, you cannot put it in everything in one single box. So box is an entity. Okay, so in that you cannot put all the curries and you get it. So if you get that, that will become khichdi. Yes, is it right? So this is an example where you can understand how this can be sorted out. So what do you do if you want to get a multiple curries of that particular box? So you will be getting a small boxes. In that you will going to segregate the entire curry. Like most people will be having after having their lunch, or they want at least one they want to have with curd, rice. Okay, ఒక ముద్ద తినాలనిపిస్తుంది కదా, or they will be having like pickle, so they have some taste. So all together we cannot in one single box. So we will be going to have a small boxes. In the small boxes we try to get the data. So that is a solution for that particular problem. So if you have multiple,
Not
yeah,
visible, sir.
yeah, tell me.
Screen is not visible, sir.
Screen is not visible. It is
Yes, sir.
clearly. I'm on 2 screens, ma. I'm getting screen. From your side, you check it. I already shared the screen and it is on my mobile and as well as on my computer. Both the screens have been got shared. I am getting example for library. This is a screen which I am been showing to you. Now I change the screen. Now it is not visible.
Okay, sir. It's visible, sir.
Yeah. So the solution for the previous one is now. That was the problem I am facing over here. So in this, I have this C45 has 3 books. He borrowed 3 books. So this is not the way you have to put the data in single one. Okay, so you have to change that into a tabular form. So this is how you're going to take. So pattern ID for 3 times, and he has taken the different books. So this is how you have to show the. This is what the first normalization says. So when you are trying to have the any data more than one of that particular field or the domain, you try to segregate. So in the first normal form, we try to convert the data into each single value. So first point you have to remember over here, the value of each attribute should have single value. So if it is like this, you convert into like this. So maximum when you write about the definition, so simply you write the definition. First normalization form will be like this. So definition is like this. Then this is the problem and this is the solution. Like this, if you able to write in the exam, then you will be going to get 15 out of 15. Okay, so be careful with this particular answer. Okay, then see, this is another example. I have something called airline is another entity. So we have flight number. Okay, we have flight with 59 and 73 numbers. So this flight will going to work on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Another flight will work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So this is the weekdays. In that particular days, this flight will going to run. That means the airline has the facility has been provided that in these days this particular flight will going to run. So how are we going to convert into normal form? First normal form. See, this is how I'll going to convert. So 59 should be in the Monday, 59 should be Wednesday, 59 should be Friday, 73 should be Monday, 73 should be Wednesday, so on. So this is how. That means you can give any example. You can take any example. So I have given the 2 examples in order to understand. So if you have like this, you have to segregate in the first normalization in this fashion, because as I already told you that DBMS or the RDBMS, which is going to tell you to maintain relational database means you have to maintain the data in a tabular format. So I'm maintaining the data in a tabular format in this fashion. Okay, so this is what about the first normal form. So any doubt regarding the first normal form? Any
No,
doubt?
sir.
Yeah, right. So now you can see how I'll be going to write this in a ER model. So what's the entities that have then multiple values for the same attribute? So example, phone numbers. Okay, we have more than one number, phone numbers have. I have courses with different schedules. Okay, can I create an atomic time slot for this? So this is a problem. So how I'll be solving over here? So here we have to think about the functional dependency. So I was telling about in the yesterday's class in the normalization, it is dependency. We are talking about the dependency. That means how one attribute is depend on other attribute. Say this is an example, X and Y are the attributes. Okay, these are the attributes. So attributes is nothing but the properties of the table. So here the table is T. So in our DBMS terminology, we call this as an entity. So here the entity or the table is T, for which X and Y are the attributes. Then how I can say functional dependency? Y is a functional dependency on X in T if and only if for each set X belongs to R, X there is precisely one corresponding set Y belongs to R. That means R is what? It's here, it's a relational. The components of X, the components of X, whatever we are having, should belongs to some relation. So it's from set of. So when it is set, then only we can say Y is depend on X and X is depend on Y. Amma Swatiya Shravanti Amma work class in atle. Okay. So here X and Y are the attributes in a table, then Y is functional dependent on X if and only that all the X contains is from the relational R. In the same fashion, Y is fully functional dependent on X if Y isn't functional dependent on X and Y is not functional dependent on any proper subset of X. That means the contents that are available in the X is anyhow related to Y. So as if you say the example, if I say something called roll number is there. So roll number is belongs to some whom, some Shravanti or Alekhya, Radha. So here we have roll number called 086 is there. So 86 means immediately you'll say, sir, it's not, it's my number Alekhya. So on the basis of the number, Alekhya has been dependent. Okay. So now I'll be saying something called 23. So there is a 23 called Lakshmi. So here Lakshmi belongs to the X attribute. Lakshmi belongs to the X attribute and roll number 23 is a Y attribute. If you say like that, then Lakshmi is depend on 23 or 23 is depend on the something called Lakshmi. So 23 and Lakshmi are come from what are these? These are the attributes of student roll number. Okay, so like this we have been telling about the functional dependency. So here you can see the example. So what is how I'll be writing? So here the entity is what? Table is an entity, right? What table it is? Book table. So there is something called book table. In the book table we have book number, title.
Excuse me, sir. I can't see anything on the screen, sir.
It's a problem from your side, I think so, ma'am, because everyone is able to see this. Is any other problem as getting other people?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, sir.
Because I'm on the mobile itself. I'm on mobile as well as the laptop. You can see in the participant list, there are two. Either you, I think, what you are seeing over on the screen, logo. Because I think while seeing on the screen, either you select the for logo or the screen share. If you click on that, according to that, it will be showing. So suppose if I click on my screen, you will be on mobile, you will be having the right side corner, a small dialog will be coming over there. You click on that, you can interchange from photo to screen, screen to photo. That is only the problem. Other than that, there is no problem. It's clearly it is been displaying on the screen. So there is something called book table entity. So we have number. So book will be having number as an attribute. So book will be having title, and the author will be there, and year of publish. So like this, we have some data. Now, how I can say it's a functional dependency? Author is an attribute. So author is an attribute. Functional dependence on the pair. So who has written this book? Book number and title. So seeing this particular number and title, okay, these two are depend on this particular author. Okay, so functional dependent on the pair is book number and title. So book number and title are the functional depend on the author. So author is there, that's why this book is there. Otherwise there is no question of the book, right? So this is functional dependent. Now when I say fully functional dependent, means that means book number. That means whenever I'll tell about the book number, when I talk about the B1, automatically I'll get the full data. What is the full data I'll get? Moby Dick, it's a title. M. Melville, okay, Melville, or how you going to speak, okay. Then 1851. That means these all are functionally dependent on the book number. Okay, so these all are depend on this particular book number. So title, author, year are being built on the book number. So it is functionally dependent. Now when I say author is an attribute, it's just functional dependent on what? Book and book number, title number. Okay, title and the book number. So here no question of year. Okay, so there is a book number and there is a title. This belongs to author so and so. So this so and so person is depend on this too. When I say fully functionally dependent, then book number is the totally fully functional dependent. How? Because when I type this, entire information I'll going to get. That means this all other attributes are depend on this. Now this is what the functional dependency. So we'll see another example. So previous example, same books borrowed. So I have book number and there is a pattern. Then there is something called address and due. So now we can see again what is happening over here. Functional dependence means address. So somebody has taken the book. So I want to trace it out. Who is the person who has taken the book? So based upon the address, so I'll be going to get the book number and the pattern. So which book the person has been taken and what is the number of that. So the address fully dependent on the this number and the pattern, right? Then when I say functionally depend, then it's in as a pattern. When I say fully functionally depend, then it's in a pattern. That means on this, that means this Fisher is in a pattern based upon this, how many books has been he has been written and what is the due date. Okay, so like this we'll be having about the functional dependency. See where the problem is coming now. Why? If you don't go for something called functional dependency concept, if you don't go with this, then we will be having some problem. So what is that problem we have to analyze? Cannot insert new patterns in the system until they have borrowed books. That means I cannot have new books. So that means a person cannot add. So if you see the previous example, here I cannot add new one. Why? Because it is insertion anomaly. So it is will going to stop you, because unless until you borrow the books, you cannot. So how I'll get the borrowing books? Somewhere I have to get it. So this is the borrowing book. So from where I'm getting these borrowed books? Some C1 or C2 or C4 has taken so and so book. Then only this data will be updated, because the person who has taken the books, it's saying that he has to return the book on so and so date. So this data, everything is depend on the, if the person taken the books on, otherwise this data will not going to come. So what it is saying that you cannot insert a new one. So I cannot add here new one, B4 or B7, B10 cannot be added. Why? Because it's coming from some other place. What is that place? The somebody has taken the books on that particular book. Now he has to return back. Okay, so in the borrowed books, I'll be trying to check that so and so book has to return back by this person, has to be written on that day, he has been not written. So I'll be checking. So in order to check this, who has taken, again I have to go back in another table, search that what book he has taken. So it says that you cannot add a new pattern in the system until they have been borrowed books. So we have the problem of insertion anomaly. So one problem we are getting. Then must update all rows involving all must be, that means we must update all the rows involving in a given pattern if he or she moves. That means whether he has been written the books, whether he has been not written the books, whether the books has been written by him, something like that. So if the book has been got spoiled, that means I will be getting some status of the book which has to be updated properly. Okay, if you are not going to update properly, then we are going to get an error called update anomaly, right? Then if we lose information about that person that have been written all the books they have borrowed, then deletion anomaly. That means if the book has been not written by the person, or if the data has been not updated properly, then we will be going to lose the information. So there is a chances of losing the information. So in order to not to have the data to be loose or lost, so we should update anomaly. Otherwise, if you not update properly, then there is the chances of deletion anomaly problem. That means you cannot delete unless until you confirm whether that book has been written by the person. Otherwise, what happens at the end, if the student says, I have written the books, you are not updated, then the sufferer will be ultimate by the student only. Okay, so he has to pay the penalty for the not giving the, because it has been not updated by him or that not updated by the administration. So this is what the problem you will face in this kind of things. Okay, so here you will be having some rules.
Anish there, huh? Okay.
Okay, so this is not necessary for you. So this is a problem, and for this we will be having some solution. So we'll sort out the solution when we comes to the thing. So one thing you have to remember in the first normalization form, that whatever the data that you are been finding, it should be segregate and it should be displayed in a single value. Now this is what you have to remember, right? So once you've been going over this, once you start just segregate the data, once you find it, then you'll be moving into the second normal form. So unless until you not sorted in the first normal form, you cannot move to the second normal form. So what the first point it says, that you sort this in a first normal form. So whether it is in a first normal form. So how will you be confirming whether each and every column has single data? So first point is right. Then coming to the second one, no non-prime attribute is depend on any other proper subset of any candidate key of the table. So I was telling about the candidate key, primary key, foreign key. So like this I was explaining. So when I'm saying candidate key, so if I go for one table, if I say roll number is there, name is there, contact number is there, last name, first name is there. Now these are all are the attributes. So with all attributes in that, say suppose roll number is there, it is unique. Aadhaar number is there, it is unique. Then passport number is there, this is unique. Say example. So these are the three columns. You think that in this table, these three columns are very important. So Aadhaar number is important, passport number is important, and your roll number is important. So these keys we called as a candidate key. This key we called as a candidate key. Now what were there is something called alternate keys. The leftover attributes. So leftover attributes are what? Say something called my name, my first name, my age, my address. Now these are all are the leftover attributes. We call these are the alternate keys. We call this as an alternate keys. So what are the candidate keys? As I told you that there is something called roll number, Aadhaar number, passport. So these are the candidate keys. Among this, one key you are finalizing as a primary key. That means you are saying that this is column is very important. So right now you say, I don't have Aadhaar number, sir. It is there, but I didn't remember. Sir, I have a passport. I have not right now. I didn't apply. So it is not valid. So the passport number is unique. It cannot be given to some other person. Aadhaar number, once it is allotted to one person, it cannot be transferred to another person. Is it right? So they have their own importance. But right now the data is not available. or you have forgot to get the documents related to that. So what do you do? So you are totally depend on the roll number, because the roll number cannot be modified. Okay, it's like it's also strong comparing to all the things. So when I'm saying like this, among these three candidate key, I have identified the primary key as a roll number. So they have three keys. In that I have primary key as a roll number I have selected. Then other two are the alternate keys. So what it is saying, whenever you are trying to segregate into the normalization, see that the non-prime attribute, that means other than the attributes, depend on any proper set of a candidate key of the table. That means candidate key, that means the other, so roll number is the main important key over there. On that, other candidate keys, that means here the other candidate key is what? Aadhaar number and passport. So these are the part of that particular table which is should be depend on the any one of that. So here the example says that primary non-prime attribute is an attribute that is not a part of any candidate key of the table. It's a super minimal key. So again we have something called super key. So what is the super key? Compared to the candidate key, what is the told? I told candidate key are there are some important keys, that is attributes that are available in the table. So in our table we have other keys. Say roll number is there, passport is there, Aadhaar is there. So these are all are the what? These are candidate key. But what is a super key? When I'm saying super key, it is that says that these are all columns which were identified just now. Candidate, what you are saying, the candidate key, these all are important and it should be maintained uniqueness, and you have many keys in the table. So in if we have more than one key, okay, important as an unique, where it cannot be duplicated. So if you're able to identify such kind of things, then those we called as a super key. Okay, we call those as a super. That means more than one column has the preference. Okay, say something called order is there, order number is there, receipt number is there, product ID is there. So if you take one example of any books or something like that, in that these three are the very important. So if we have more than one key in a table, then we call it as a super key, right? Among that, whichever that is there important is a primary key. Then rest of the key that the attributes left out is called as a candidate key. So in the second normal form, you have to identify such kind of keys. So here you can see one example. Again, the example book number, pattern, phone number. So here book number is important. Phone number is also important. So phone number and book number are the super keys. When I say candidate keys, so book number, pattern, phone number are the candidate keys. Book number, pattern, phone number. These are candidate keys. Book number is a primary key. Okay. In my library table, I have a book number, pattern, phone number. Phone number cannot be duplicated. If it is duplicated, there is something called, there is an importance has been given. Book number is there, it has been given some importance. Then this book number and the phone number become the super key. That means in one table, we have more uniqueness of the key. Okay, so like this, if we have such kind of things, so how will we sort it out this one? So here we have to identify the candidate key. So as I told you, book number and the pattern. So here we have book number and the pattern are the what? Candidate key. We have pattern with phone number. So table is not in the second normalization form. So this is not the second normalization form, right? How are you going to convert this into second normalization form? So what I'll do, potential, it is should be insertion anomalies, update anomalies, data deletion anomalies. So we have seen this kind of problems in the previous just now. So this has to have such, that means here we have to see that this kind of thing should be done. Then only we can convert the first normal form to second normal form. So in the second normal form, what are the points you should remember? You should allow me to the insertion problem. So this insertion problem should be solved. Update anomalies problem should be solved. Deletion anomalies problem should be solved. So how I'll be solving this one? Now this is the solution. So solution is, I'll try to put the phone numbers in a different table. So here you can see, I have something called book number and the passion. Okay, the pattern, and I have the pattern. Patterns are this. If you see your previous table, this is the table. How I'm trying to do this? I'll try to split this into a single, not in a single table. It should be a table in a multiple. Say that in the multiple tables, so book number and pattern are taken, and I want to know the pattern phone number. So here, instead of writing the pattern again and again, I'll say whichever that is not duplicate. So pattern number. So I have taken the pattern, and as been see here 2 times I've got Fisher. So here in this case, once I split it, I have only one name. So I'll be having one pattern and I will be having one author. So it's like I have the phone numbers. So instead of having this kind of things, so this is what we have problem. So the problem is over here is what kind of problem? Insertion problem is there, update problem is there, anomalous problem is there. So how I will be solving this one? By splitting the table. So what is happening whenever I try to insert? So where I should insert in the pattern tool. So I have to insert the data over here. Okay. So if I add the name and phone number, automatically when I come over here, I can take this pattern many times. And if I want to know the contact number, it will directly link over here. And you can see the thing that whenever you are doing this one. Now here, if you remember, very carefully observe that we have one table has been split into 2 parts, and this table, that is book number and pattern, is depend on this one. Okay, because the data is coming from here. So whenever I'm saying pattern, this is X. That means this becomes pattern and phone number. Pattern and phone number has become the master table. Remember over here. So pattern and phone number columns, which is having this, become the master table, and this become the child table. Why it's become the child table? Because this Fisher and Fisher are repeated. Okay, and Amer is over repeated. The same book has been taken by 2 peoples. As our first normalize is according to this first normal, because one person. So here B2 is there, B2 is there, B3 is there. So B2 is the person who has taken the 2 pattern books. Okay, so like this I have been. So that means as in the first normal, whether it's there or not, how I can ensure? Because each and every value has only single value. Okay, so each and every domain has single value. So it is in a first normal form. Then after first normal form, we are trying to split into 2. Why? Because here I don't want to duplicate the things. So in order not to have the duplicates the things, simply what I'm doing, I'm separating these 2 tables. So when I'm separating this, now this become the master and this become the child table. Why it is become the child table? Because the data is coming on from here. So this become the functional dependency. So this is depend on this. So book number and pattern is depend on this. Okay, if this is not there, what is the use of book number? Okay, so if I want any further information, I can get the phone numbers like this. Okay. Then come into the third normal form. So when I want to go with a third normal form, you should ensure that the data should be in a second normal form. That means I cannot directly go to the third normal form unless until I go to the second normal. So if I want to make a second normal form, I have to go with the first normal. So when you cross the first and second normal form, then only I can move to the third normal form. So in the third normal says that it should be first, second normal form, the first criteria. Second one, all the attributes are determined by only by its candidate key and not by any non-prime attributes. So here it says that it should be depend on the candidate keys. So I told you what are the candidate keys. It should not be on any other attribute. So it should be depend on the candidate key. So how we'll be solving this one? So here I have the example saying that this is the one as the example. Again, the same example, book number, pattern, address, and due I'm checking. So candidate key is book number. Candidate key is the book number. And when I'm saying pattern is address. So when I say pattern, it's an address. So I have like this. So this is the thing I'm having. So what I'll do, I to get the solution. So how I'm going to get the solution in this? So solution is, first you try to split the things. So I have split the things over here. Then In your second normal form, what you have done in the second normal form, if you remember, I have pattern and the phone number. So how I have been separating like this. So similar fashion, the third normal form, if this is the table, you have to try to separate this. So I should have the book number, pattern, and the tutor. This is enough for me. So if you want more further details of the pattern, phone number, or his address, then I'll go to the another table. Again, this table is a master and this become the child table. So the child table will go to this particular pattern because I want the address of this person. So I'll going to get the address of this. If you want another contact number, again I'll be having contact. So in whatever fashion you want, that means putting the address in a separate pattern table. So I'm not mixing the address. So no, address is not required over here. Simply I need the book number and the person and what is his date, right? So like this, what is happening? My columns has been got decreased, as well as whenever I want something address. So I'll go to the particular, so here, and I'll split that particular table so that in future, if I want any address, I can able to. So you have the problem of update anomaly, insertion of anomaly is there. So whatever data I'll update here automatically, this data is linked to this particular table. Then from here I can extract. So for viewing purpose, that means for viewing purpose, I can have like this. I can combine multiple tables and I can display in a single table. But for storing purpose, try to separate, segregate wherever you require, split the tables into short, so that it will be very easy for you to retrieve the data. That's it was the normalization says. Instead of having putting also, if you see the my beginning of the first class, if you see I have put it all the items, the pen, rubbers, scales, all stationary items, what unwanted items, I put it in a single box. Okay, that is for showing purpose is well and good. Okay, but for retrieving the information from that basket, it is very difficult. So what I have to do, I have to separate all the basket in different manner. That means a big basket I have to take, and I have to take small basket. In that I have to put pen box, pencil box separately. So whenever I want to pick up, it is very easy for me to pick up pencils or pen or separately. Okay, for showing purpose altogether I can put, that's a good idea. But while retrieving the data for pick up in the content, it is very difficult. So in order to have such kind of, so what I'll do, I'm doing the normalization. So I'm splitting everything into the parts in my convenient way, so that for future response it is very easy for me to retrieve the data. Okay, so this is the third normalization form. Okay, another example we see here, I have something called tournament winner is there. So there is something called tournament year, winner, date of birth is there. So again you can see here tournament and year. Now this is a candidate key. Winner has the date of birth. So whoever the person who has been winner on that particular date of, he is having that particular birth date. Okay, so in order to create him, or I need some information regarding him. So I have like that. So how I'll be splitting this one? So I'll be splitting that data in a form of tournament year, winner I'll be putting in somewhere, and winner and date of birth I'll put it in somewhere. So that whenever I need, I'll going to get the data from that particular table. So this is how I'll be going to divide my third normal form. So first normal is single value. Second value is we split in such a way that it should not have the problem of insertion and deletion and updation anomalies. Then coming to third, you try to identify the candidate keys, and you have to identify the some dependent keys. Then based upon that, again you split the table and see that it should have the unique values. Then coming to the fourth one, bicode normal form. Unless until you are being transferred to the third normal form, you cannot go with the bicode normal. So in order to get the third in normal form, I should be in the second, I should be from first. So first normal, it should move to the second, from second to third. Then only I can say that I am in the fourth normal form. How it will be saying that A have a table. So A is a table, that is A is a table, T is in a BCNF. How I can say, if and only for every one of its non-trivial dependency, that is from X to Y, X is a super key for T. That means whenever I'm transferring, whenever that is saying X is depend on Y, or Y is depend on X. So when I'm saying X is Y is depend on X, so that means I will get the arrow like this. If I'm saying X is depend on Y, then it will be opposite direction. So when having such kind of things, then you have to say that X is a super key. Okay, X and Y are the attributes. So you remember X and Y are the attributes of table T, saying that whichever that is depend on the other, then other is called as a super key of the T. So T is a table. So here X is a super key because Y is depend on T. So in our case, so as I was telling, instead of saying super keys or something like that, I'll say master table, child table, parent table, or a child table, root table, or a node table. So we will be having different kind of terminology. That means somebody is dependent. So we are the kids, we are dependent on our parents. So parents are the superior for us. Okay, so parents are superior for a child. So I'll be saying that if I want to go to the fourth normal form or bichord normal form, so we have to see that strictly we have to follow the three normal forms. So one is see the data should be in a single value, then see the data should be separated into columns, and functional dependency concept, and see that it should be allow the insertion problem should be solved, deletion and updation problem should be solved. That is, then only we are moving into the third normal. So in third normal form, what I'm saying, it should be, so one whatever key it is been depend on the other, then dependent key is called the super key, right? So here most of the tables are in the third normal form. So almost all we have been third normal form. So now all three normal forms is a BCNF. So all three normals are called as a BCNF. So how I'll be seeing over here? So if you take the example, we have three attributes, that is manager, project, and branch. So Elias, Alpha, Austin, like this we have different data. Then if you see here, manager is depend on that particular branch. So for which branch he is a manager, or which bank he is a manager, right? So then project and branch, project or branch are coming from where? Particular branch manager. So manager on this branch manager, project and branch, these are depend on the man. So based upon this, the manager is going to work. So here X is project and branch, Y is manager. Okay, in our case, if you see the example of previous X and Y, I'm saying so super key. So here if you see here, project and branch are depend on the manager. So if the manager is required, there should be a project and there should be some branch. That means that somewhere he has to work. So these two are being dependent by the manager. So managers depend on this. So if the manager wants to work, where he should work and on what project he's working. Okay, so like this you have to identify the your keys. See another example, you can see manager and project. So not in the BCFS. Why it is not in the BCNF, that is bichord normal form? Because manager and branch, and manager is not the super key. Okay, so we have something called manager and branch. So branch is depend on manager, as I told you. Okay, so this is what the dependence. So when I'm telling that, what is happening, manager is not the super key. Okay, here we have the branch is there, there is a branch manager is there. So we in this, where is the super key, how are you going to identify from this who is the super key? Because these are the allies is repeating over here in the manager. Then if you see the branch, Austin is repeated or Houston is repeated. So when I say like this, then this is not in the BCNF format. So I have to convert this into the BCNF. How are you going to convert into BCNF? I have to decomposition. So when I go come across the concept of bichord normal form, you have to remember the word called decomposition. So if you remember then you're going to get an idea. So what is that? Here the concept in the second normal, if you see that in the second normal and third normal form, we are seeing that for first normal form has been got separated. So from the second onwards, you are trying to separate the columns. So when I'm trying to separate the tables and the columns, so how I'll be decomposing the case that we are finding the problem in the third normal form, I have to decompose. How I'll be decomposing? Manager and the project in someone, and manager and branch as a someplace. So two tables solution does not have preserve you the dependency. So project and branch. So if you see project is here, branch is over here, and we have the manager. So manager can be this one, not this one, because the manager over here is Alice, Bob, Cornell, and Alice. This is repeating. But if you see this one, manager, only 3 persons are there, which has been not repeated. So if a branch is there, branch has been got repeated. So this is when I'm linking this one. That means this become the child table, that is master and branch has been become the parent table, or we call as a root table. Then manager and the post project. Now this is the, you can see the names and the projects are repeating. That means these are depend on the manager table. Okay, so this is how it will be dependent. So how I'll be writing this one? So how I'll be doing this one again. So I am again trying to segregate this one. So how I'll be segregating? Now I'll be saying manager and project, manager and the branch. So here, if you say the same thing, I can have the manager and the branch, manager and the project. Same thing I'm doing. Again, we have here, cannot have two or more manager managing the same project at the same time. Now, if you see in the first one, this has been separated and it has been divided. Now, if you see here, Elias is on Austin. Very good. So one person has one project. Bob is on Austin. Carlol is on Austin. Dean is on Austin. That means three people are on same, that is branch, but they're on the same project. See here. See, Elias is on alpha. Elias is on delta. Bomb is on delta. Cornell is on alpha. And Dean is also on delta. So that means one person who is managing the project, he can have only one branch and one project. So you cannot have more than that. So here cannot have two or more managers managing the same project at the same branch. So in single branch, so branch is what? Houston is a branch. So Bob, Cornell, Dean are there. Now these people are handling the project delta. Okay, well and good. But what is happening? Alice is there. He is also from some different branch. He can do it. But coming to the Bob or coming to the Coral, what is happening over here? Now here these are two persons. They are been trying to have the two projects in single branch, two projects by the different person. So it should not have like that, because for one branch, for one company, only one manager can be there. So if you go for an IOU bank, we will be finding only one manager. Under him, will be having assistant manager, and above him there will be a boss. It's like that. But in one branch, in one bank, I cannot have two managers, three managers similar. So here you can see Bob, Corner, Dean are the three peoples are from the same branch. So a manager cannot have more than two branches. So this is how you are getting the problem. So when I'm decomposing the things, I'm getting the problem. I have to solve this. So for this, what is the solution? Here, what is you find over here? We have something called multi-valued attributes. So if you remember, there is something called one person have multiple values. That concept we call as a multi-valued attribute. Now, what is this? Here we have problem that branch have branch with Austin and Houston. These are the two branches repeatedly it's coming. And if you see the project alpha, delta, and delta is there. So again, the managers are different, but the projects are same. So this is the problem we are facing. So what is the problem? It is saying multi-value dependent. That means we have one column where it has been divided into three different parts. That is X, Y, and Z. So for a particular row, we can refer to the data, each group of heading as X, Y, Z, etc. So what is happening? We have the dependency problem. So multi-value dependency problem is there because a lot of data is been there allotted for the one person. So how I'll be trying to solve this? In order to solve this, I should think about the what is the multi-value dependency. So when I'm saying X is directly proportional to Y occurs if for any XC actually occurring in the table and the list of all the XC, YZ combinations that occur in the table. So we find that XC is an associated with the same Y entities regardless of Z. So what it mean by? So it says that whenever I have one attribute in a table and there are other combinations. So if I give the example of phone number, so phone number have multiple numbers. So you have the home number, alternate number, office number, like we have one person have many numbers. So in that case, we have to segregate the values and you have to find the what is the importance of that particular XC among the XC, YZ. Then you have to try to solve that, right? So this is what the multi-value dependency. Now when I go with the trivalent multi-value dependency, again the same thing you'll be having. So X is proportional to Y is one of where either Y is a subset of X or Z is a subset of X and Y has a column heading. That means one person is belongs to that particular part. So X is in a table, Y is an, so X is an attribute, Y is an attribute. That means roll number is there and there is something called name is there. So name is there, roll number is not there. That means roll number is a part of that particular name. So here Y is the subset of X. So X is a roll number, Y is the name. So here X is a part, Y is a part of the X, not the X is a part of Y. Then Z is an empty. So as I told you that empty concept, when I say empty concept, you have to remember that primary key concept. So what the primary key concept says, it should not be kept empty and it should be up to date data. So how are we trying to divide this one? So multivalid is there. So after going with the bichord normal form, then the final stage is of your fourth normal. So be remember there is first normal form, second normal form, bichord normal form. Then we have something called fourth normal form. So in the fourth normal form, how it will be? So if you are coming to the fourth normal, so it is been assumed that so you have been crossed over the first normal, second normal, and you have been in the third normal. So when you are in the third normal form, the next step, the level will going to come is in a fourth normal form. Now what it is going to tell you, it says that for every one of its non-trivial multi-valid dependency, X is either should be a candidate key or it should be a superset of the candidate. So again, what it is saying, if you want to go within a fourth normal form, X and Y. So all the attributes are being depend on one and each other. So roll number is depend on some extra ID, or name is depend on the ID, address is depend on ID, phone number is depend on ID, something like that. So it means that what is this ID? It's a one of the candidate key, or it is a superset of the primary key or the candidate key. That means there are some keys. So we have roll number, name, phone number, contact, like this. We have a lot of keys are there. So when I'm trying to map, or if I want to arrange in the fourth normal form, it says that any one of the columns should be candidate key or a super key. So if you remember the definition of the candidate key and super key, then it is very easy for us to move to the fourth normal form. So here you can see the example. So I have a restaurant, pizza, and delivery area. So I will be delivering my data or my products at SW Houston. And the product which I am supplying is thin crust, thin crust, thin crust. That means near about 6 to 7 data. This has been repeated. So we are not bothered about. So only what you are bothered here, you will find something called restaurant. It has some product has been delivered. So pizza Milan, Pilon pizza has been added by same persons and it has been delivered at SW Houston. So this is what I got it. I will segregate in the fourth normal form. So here you can see how I'll be doing. The table has now non-key attribute. That means key is restaurant, pizza, delivery area. So if you remember here, these are the three keys we have. Okay, restaurant, pizza, and delivery area. So three columns are there, and two non-trivial multi-valid dependents. That means restaurant is pizza, restaurant is delivery. So if you remember here, I can have the restaurant as a pizza, or that means the restaurant with supplying pizza, or the restaurant which has the most of the items has been delivered in the so and so place. Okay, so like this I'll be trying to go with this particular problem. Then since the restaurant delivers the same pizza to all the delivery areas, okay, so it will go and distribute its product to everyone. So what I'm doing in the fourth normal form, again I have to separate the tables and I have to see that I should have the restaurant and delivery area. That means where is the restaurant, where I have to deliver. Now depending upon the delivery address, I'll be having restaurant. So here I have the restaurant, here we have some products, and we have some products called pizza. So like this I'm trying to segregate in the fourth normal form. So whenever I require, I try to segregate the data and I'll be trying to link the table between this. So whenever I'm trying to link the table, then that is something but foreign key. Okay, so in order to link the table, we are using some keys. So primary key, foreign key, short, a unique key, default key. Like this, we have a lot of keys. So we'll be learning this in the coming classes. Okay. Then we have something called fifth normal form. Fifth normal form also is there, but it is enough for us to go within a second, third, and biconormal form. If you want, you can write all this and you can go with this. So if you want, I'll be explaining. So what is this fifth normal form says? We have the table. When we call this table as a fifth normal form, when every trivial non-joint dependency. So what is this joint? I'll be linking. So I was been explaining about 8th class mathematics, union, intersection. So if I have set of A has 1, 2, 3, set of B has 2, 4, 5, then union means all. So A and union B, if we say, then I'm going to get 1 to 8. Now when I say A intersection B, then what are the matches that are available in the set A and B? That data we are going to write as an what? Intersection. So like this, I will be following the candidate keys and dependencies. Based upon that, I'll be joining the table. So I'll be joining the inner join, outer join, left join, right joins are there. Based upon the join concept, I'll be finding the dependency of A to Z. So I'll be finding the dependency of A to Z. Okay. Then I'll be trying to make the what are the main important keys among the table. So like this, I have to define. So whenever it's not a deal, directly I cannot go with the tables and write the content. It's not like that. You have to normalize the things. So how I'll be normalizing here, this is the example. I have 3 columns, store, brand, and product. And I have the store. In this, these are the items. I have the different brands and I have the different product. So if you remember here, circuit and city sells Apple tablets and phones, but only Toshiba laptop. So if you remember the information from here, what is the information I'm getting? I have the store called Circuit City, which is going to have the only brand Apple, and they have been going to sell only the tablets that are being Toshiba laptop. That means brand of Toshiba only they are going to sell it. So the laptop which has been built in Toshiba, which is having the brand of Apple. Okay, so their store is at Circuit City. So this is how I'll be having the example. So if I go with the name decomposition, so if I try to do this one, so store, product, brand, product. So what is happening here? I cannot do with this because here I will be getting a problem. What is the problem I'm going to get? Normally I will do it. So I said join dependency. So there is something called inner join, outer join, left join, right join. So when I'm going with a normal join, what happens if I combine these two tables? So if it is the tables have been divided like this. So when I try to split this, so if you see here, products are what? Tablet phones and laptop are there. Only 3 things are there. But what I'm doing when I'm separating this, here I'm writing all the things: tablet, phone, laptops, and laptops. So it should not be only single; it should be one laptop only. But what is happening here? Laptop and laptops are coming 2 times. But when I'm coming over here, the brand is different. So Apple and Toshiba is there. So when what I'm going to get? So suppose if I do this 2 tables, I combine these 2 tables into a single. Then we call it a natural join. So when I'm trying to do this, what is the problem you'll find? Here I'll find the problem. What is that? I have a circuit, Apple tablet, circuit, Apple phones, circuit, uh, Apple laptops. So like this, we have 2 things. So here, what do you find here? Introduce 2 series of tuples. So what is happening here? Here we have Apple is there. Here is Apple is there. But what is happening? He is selling the laptop and phones and tablets. So this is what the confusion I'm getting. Whether he's selling the product of tablet or a phone or a laptop. So when I'm selling about the tablets, so here we have the joining problem. So when I do this joining, I'm getting the data. So if you see this, I have data like this. I have been separated. So we call this as a bad decomposition. We have to go with a identify good decomposition. So what is how I'll be doing this decomposition? Simply I'll say tablet, phones, and laptop. Instead of this, I will not write the 2 things. Again, I'll be saying these all are been from Apple and this is only for Toshiba. So that means I have to find the composition of this. But what is happening if I do this one like this, then it's in a very bad decomposition. So in the bad decomposition, what happens if I use the normal join, that is natural join, and if I combine this, I'm getting this kind of problem. So what is this problem says? It says that, you see, that is the problem I'm facing. So introduce to your problem. Okay. So tuples has been got superior. So here we have different kinds of tables which has been got problem. So if you see this highlight, it's been got a problem. So how I'll be doing? Simply I'll be trying to write in such a way that it should not have that kind of problem. So Circuit City, Apple is there. So here it was table, tablet, phones, laptops. So all laptops are one place of different product of that particular brand and the stores. So now I'll be assuming any stores carrying a given brand and selling the product that is made by the brand will always carry that product. Okay, so if you do like this, what happens? Instead of doing the previous one, if I do like this, all phones at same place, tablets at one place, laptop as one place, though the brand is same and the area that is been stored are been same, but here we don't have that kind of problem. See, same thing I have done. So the same problem with the natural gen. So if how I'll be do this, so that was a problem if you do like this. So now how I'll be doing over here, I'll taken the same thing, stores, product, brand, products. Now if I join this, again we have some problem. What is this problem? Again here we have some other problem, some superior stuff. Again the repeated one is there. So here Apple, Toshiba, laptop, Apple, laptop. Again see, company USA, company is there, Apple is there, Toshiba is there, laptop. Circuit City is there. Again the laptop, Toshiba is there, laptop. That means again the same product has been got repeated over. So again still there is a problem. So even though you sort it out, again we have the problem. So this kind of problem again we have to sort it. So how I'll be doing? Instead of 2 tables, I'm trying to do the 3-1. What are the things? I'll take the store. Where are the stores are there? And in that stores, what brand has been given? So I have something called 3 brands. So if I see all the tables, we are going looking about the Apple brand, Toshiba brand, like this. So we have 3 brands. Okay, that is only, actually we have only 2 brands, Apple and Toshiba. But when you say about the stores, this store is selling 2 brands, and this store is selling only 1 brand. So US is selling the Apple. Circuit City is going to sell the product brand of Apple and Toshiba. So if I divide like this, then from here this will going to come. So this is linked to this. So brand and products is depend on the store and brand. Why? Because Apple and Toshiba is coming from this one, from the brand. Then product is what? Tablet, phones, tablet. This is you are trying to enter. But from where this is coming? Again, this is coming from here, from the store. That means this table is linked to this and this table is linked to this. So store and product is the master table, and brand and product is the child table. Again, store and brand is the child table. So this is child for all. This is child for this. Like this, you have the criteria. So I will try to divide this. Okay. So this is what the normal. So the first big table was 5NF. So what is the thing you have to remember? So normal form, when I go with the normal form, the biggest task we are going to do is decomposable in this one. So second table was decomposable. So you have to think about fifth normal. So when I want to go with the fifth normal form, you should be in the third normal, from the third to fourth to fifth. So you should be very careful in the designing and splitting the columns. So when I'm trying to identify the data from the surroundings, so whatever the data I'm going to get it should be processed in a proper manner. So in order to process in a proper manner, I should be go within a normalization. So we have different kinds of normalization where we're going to do such kind of things. Okay. Any doubt regarding this normalizations? So we'll see the example over here. We'll see some example. This is not the correct for me. Yeah. So normalization example we'll see. So after writing all your theoretical part of this, then finally you have to give the final output in the exam like this. So you have to take one example. So we have a table. Table is what? Orders. Okay, so in online store, so we have this table called orders, and each row represent items on a particular order, and we have the primary key in the order as order and the product. So you have to remember this one. So what are the columns we have? We have order, product, quantity, unit price, customer, and address. So this is a table which having the following properties or attributes. So table name is what? Orders. Attributes are what? Order, product, quantity, unit price, customer, and address. So here I have underlined order and product. So when I'm underlining these two words, it means that these two are primary key. Means order is whatever the order you are taking, it is having unique value and it should not be duplicate and it is compulsory. That means you should not keep blank. So that's why I'm taking the order. Then once the product has been, the order has been given, you are selecting the product. That means for which product you are giving the order. So product is also unique. So again, it is also primary key. So this product, so the person who is ordering is having the number and what product is ordering. Then depending upon that, other are candidate keys. So here order and the product are the primary keys. Quantity, unit price, customer, and address are the alternate keys. Okay. Among all this, whichever you think that is important, then those we call as a candidate key. So like this, we have to identify. So first of all, we have this particular table called orders, and I have some columns. Then I have to find the first step is functional dependency. That means which is depend on what. So order. So when I'm ordering, customer is dependent. When I'm saying customer, he is having an address. So when I'm saying that a customer, he'll purchase the product. So if the person purchase the product, he'll be having some the quantity price. So how much price is spending on that particular product. So what is happening here? Order is the customer and customer has the address. So order has the address. Okay, so this is how you have to depend on the function. So if you see this particular columns, how one columns are linked to each other. This is what the relations. So how one column attributes are being depend on the other attribute. So this is how you have to establish the relation. So we have some contents. So what is the constants over here? So order is there. So it has been given by the customer. So we have take single customer. So if you talk about one person, so one person orders some item. So he is the person called as a customer. Then once the person has been ordered, the customer has to receive the product. So he will be having the address. So address is depend on the customer and customers depend on the order. So functional dependency. Then product, if you take the product, it has some price. So product has a price. So it is separate one. Then coming to the final statement. So the final statement you have to build from that particular table is order has a customer, then customer has an address, then order is also has the address. So this is transitive dependency. So that is transitive dependency. Then once it has been done in the first normal form, functional dependency has been done, then we are moving to the second normal form. So in the second normal form, what I'm trying to split the table into two parts. What I'm doing, first table I'm taking order, product, quantity, unit price. How much quantity you want, and that is leftover quantity or whatever the quantity that are available in the storeroom. Then I have the price for each and every product, or come together all together price also. Then second table I will be having the order, then to whom you are ordering and his address. So customer, address, and order has been separated. So instead of writing all the tables, creating the tables in this fashion in single table, I'm trying to split this. So in order to split this particular table, first I have to identify the functional dependency. Then you try to split the table. Now this is the second solution. That means from the first normal form, I'm moving to the second normal form. Okay, then from the second normal form, Again, I am trying to decompose. How I am trying to decompose? See, first product is what? I have first table. If you see the first table over here, I have order, product, quantity, unit price. So I'm trying to split over here, order, product, quantity. I'm not going for the price. The second, order, customer, address. It is as it is. Then coming to the third one, what I'm doing here, product is there and we have price. Product is there, we have price. So if you see, this is the first table is the master table. Order and the products are coming from these two tables. See, so this second table is depend on this and third table is depend on the first table, because all together I'm having here. So when I'm saying order, I'll get the order to whom you are ordered and his address and the name. Now when I'm saying product, what product he has purchased. So if I want to know the product, I'll jump over here and I'll be seeing the price. So what is happening here? We have seen the problem, the insertion anomaly, third deletion anomaly, update anomaly. We have seen the problem. No? That problem can be sorted like this. So what is the insertion anomaly problem? It should allow you to insert. If you're not allowing, then it's a problem. Okay, if you're not updating, it is a problem. If you're deleting, it's a problem. So what is happening? If your product, say suppose I want to purchase Johnson and Johnson powder, I want perfume. So I'll say Lakme perfume or something like that. We have one product called perfume and its price is of 20 rupees or 80 rupees, $80, something like that. Then whenever I'll go over here, the person is ordering. So he's having some number 1 and he's having customer name X and address. What is ordering? He's ordering some perfume as an order. How much is ordering? Say 2. He wants 2 orders. So he has been getting. So when I'm getting over here, immediately what it will do, it will jump to this particular thing. Okay, perfume order is of $80. So 80 into 2 is 60, 160. So it will going to say for 2, I got the total as 160 like that. So instead of having a big table, I'll try to split it into a decomp. So this is how you're going to decomposition of your table. So still you have to analyze the tables. How far you can analyze, try to split the content into parts and parts. That is what you are doing, the decomposition, right? Then coming to the second now. So second is done. So first has been done like this. Then now coming to second. Now second coming over here. What is happening here? Customer has address. So today my customer, when I say the customer, the person is coming over me and is purchasing the product. Then the same person is coming and again for 10 to 20 cents because he liked the storeroom and he got the products and he has been warranty and been trusted that particular store. He will be always coming. So what I'll do, one time he'll be ordering from home. So nowadays, if you see the due to pandemic period, everything is been online order. So I will be register his details. So whenever the person asks me the order, automatically it will jump to the order and automatically the address will generate. So no need to ask and again. Nowadays, if you see in the medical shops, if you go for the Apollo or if you go for shopping any product, or if you purchase to the more for getting your all kinds of stationery items or food items or something like that. Once you come to the payment option, once you pay them, he will be asking, please give the feedback and also your phone number. Okay, why? Because whenever they again, if you go for purchasing any product, then you are the regular customer, so they will be saying that okay, because of you are the regular customer for me, your phone number has got some offers, discount, because you have been regular to us, so we are going to give a discount. So in order to have such kind of offer to them, I am trying to split my data so that it should not be get confusion. When I say order a customer, okay, I want to know the name of the customer, that's it. If you want more depth of that, then I'll be going to the address. So with the help of that particular number, phone number or the person customer ID, I'll going to get it address. So this ID is been not shown to all. Okay, for the person who is using, he can know only order and the customer. Okay, when I'm going over here in the second table, the second table was looking like this. So in the second normal form, I have done like this. Then when I'm coming to the third normal form, again furtherly I'm trying to divide this because I want to more secure. I don't want to show the address to everyone. Whenever if you are coming for the enquiry or putting something about that, or you have any allegation about that customer, then only you try to open his profile and you'll check the address. Otherwise, we don't require it. So like that, if it is not required over here, you think that this should be split furthermore, then I'll be split like this. So when I'm doing like this, then this is your third normal form. Okay, so this is your third normal form. Okay, so if you see here, what is happening in the second and normalization form? So if you see here, second normal form means no partial dependencies on the candidate key. So here if you see, order is there, customer is there, address is there. Then we have identified product and unit price. So in the second normal form, we are done. So what you done in the first normal form? We have removed the functional dependency because we have the problem of the functional dependency. So to remove the first functional dependency, we have what we have done from the order, customer, address, we have been changed the another. So order, product, quantity, price was there. So from the this particular 4 columns we made to 3 columns. From the 3 columns we made to the 2 columns. So like this we have been splitting this into tables. See again what we have done over here. Still we have some partial functional dependency, that is product is depend on the price. So here also what we have done, product and unit price should be there. So we have been splitted order, product, quantity. From that we split into product and unit price, right? So we have 3 things. So in from 3 we have been doing. So if you don't understand this concept, just you remember this diagram. This is enough for us to understand the concept. So what we done over here, we have splitted like this and we have done like this. The same thing here I have written. Okay, the same explanation here been written. So this is how you have to write the next. Most of the people will not going to write this for this particular big question. Okay, then in third normal form what you have done, if you see that in third normal form, in the third normal form furtherly we have divided the order, customer address into a order, customer and customer address. So same thing has been explained over here. So we have removed the order, customer address to order and customer and address. Like this we have done. Why? Because there is something called transitive functional dependency, because order is depend on customer and customer depend on the address, and order is naturally depend on the address. So if you see the first point, if you see here, orders depend on the customer and the customers depend on the address, and address is depend on the that order. So it's a transitive dependency. So we have been find that there is a something called transitive dependencies there, functional dependencies there. Then we have been removed that, and furtherly we start split it into order and customer into an address. So this is how you're going to do within a third normal. So if you see the final again what you have done. So actually we have to write like this. So most of the people will not going to write like this. They are fail to write all this. So maximum they'll show the pictorial diagram like tables and all the things. So we'll take the example they will write. For that you will be getting like if it is a 15 mark, because this time due to COVID thing what they have done, 50 percentage of marks was there. So there was no choice. So 50% was choice was there. So they have been made 15 marks for theory. That is big answer, 15 marks. So if it is COVID is continuing like this, then the same pattern will be followed to you. Otherwise it will not there like that. So there will be no question of 15 marks. So be careful. So while writing the answer you should be very careful. Either you can follow this or you can follow this particular option. So you can go like this by explaining the normalization with example. Okay, so this is how you have to do it. So finally you can write the normal. So normalization has some this many of columns. Then when you come into the second, it has been splitted. So here we have order and products, two identifies them. So I made it into two different tables. So you see here order, product, quantity, order, customer address, product, and unit price. So coming to the third, I have been splitted like this. So this is how you're going to do it. Okay, so finally this is one of the biggest question we are going to expect in this particular unit is normalization. Very, very important. Okay, so any doubts you can raise the things, otherwise we can stop the session here only. Previously it was 55, then it has been 10 members has been dropped out. Why? Yeah. Thank you, Mo. I have taken the attendance. So tomorrow
Okay.
I'll share the videos. Okay. Once it has been recorded and is finished, tomorrow I'll share it.
Okay,